up guys, this is Skipper from IFAGaming, and we are back with TF2 tips and tricks. Today we are doing King of the Hill Pro Viaduct RC3. This is another pro version of a classic TF2 map. King of the Hill style, so it's a little different than what you may see in most competitive gameplay, but it's just as fun and interesting as any other map. Today we'll be doing a general overview of the map, specific roles for each class, and then a just quick guide on where to push and where to hold. We're going to start the overview of the map here from the spawn. We got 2 spawn doors. We have 3 places to push into mid. We have the far left, middle, and right. The far left leads you into this sort of flat plateau area, which is more safe, puts you in a better pushing position over here. And the middle push over here is a little bit slower, but it's much more safer. It allows you to set up your troops on both sides, push from all angles, that sort of thing. The far right is a bit more of a sneak attack. You might want to do this in maybe the 2nd or 3rd round or something, try and catch him off guard. You can bring your team up and sort of drop down. Then you bring to the middle point, and from middle you have at least 20 different exits. You can get to this point from pretty much all angles. So there's a house in here with stairs, and you can usually see a teleporter around here. Engineers like to hide this because only scouts and the occasional roaming soldier might come out through here. Then you come over here to the sniper battlements, where on the original Viaduct you had sort of a fence here, but now this fence is gone, so it's much easier to push in on with scouts and clear out the snipers. There's this scaffolding here now, so snipers can hide behind that, peek out, go for a pick. But this isn't really the best sniper position. I'll explain sniper positions later though. So typically you'll see, if you're rolling out from here, you'll probably drop down here, or even just play it safe and go through here, which is, you know, much safer, much faster actually. There's a lot of different variations, and you want to mix it up the best you can, try and catch the other team off guard. So also means you should be practicing it as much as possible with your team. Anyway, then we come up to midpoint. It's a very wide open point, as you see, with these 2 rocks in the middle as the only real cover. There's a tunnel connecting the 2 sides. In case you guys haven't realized yet, this is an almost exact mirror. It's kinda, if I zoom out a bit, as you can see over there, the sort of little high sniper deck area is on the same side over here, but it will play out a little bit differently, because when you push in, you think it'll be on the same side, but actually if you go through here and you take up right, you get to the sniper deck. However, if you push in on the other side and you go the same way, you'll end up on the plateau. So it's sort of a nice mirror. Can get a little bit confusing though when you're trying to push. So anyway, like I said, there's this tunnel. It's kind of connecting the 2 points, good place for flanks. Other than that, it's just sort of dealing with the problem of really campy teams just sort of hanging around this area and suspecting that they're safe. That's one thing about Viaduct. You are never safe on this map. There is no real great place to hang out and just chill instead of really this house. But if you hold in this house, it leaves you very much cornered. So that's pretty much the map. A few things to note about this map. It is very, very wide open, as you can see, and also small. So it's very good for flanking, you know, scouts, spies, and the whole lot, even jumping soldiers. Another thing is, because of this middle point is so wide open, it's so good for snipers and engineers. A good sentry gun in any of these positions, I'll explain later, can take out key members of your team if you're not paying attention. Same thing for snipers, like the sniper positions I'll explain earlier. Very wide open point, so very easily to get picked off in all situations. You can never go AFK for 10 seconds and hang out in the middle of the map because you need to grab a Mountain Dew. No, you cannot do that on this map. It is a dangerous place and you must be afraid of Viaduct. So anyway, after I get the adrenaline out of my body, we will overview the 9 classes that you'll be playing in this match here. So, the first thing for Scout. This is a great Scout map. Some Scouts come to say to me like, oh, I really hate this map because it's small and I get killed by soldiers who shoot feet and got kills. Well, you're wrong for a few reasons. There's so many quick ways to roll out a scout. You are the fastest class, and if the other Demoman isn't very good, you will be one of the fastest guys on point, and you can't actually capture this point the minute the round starts, so it's a little bit difficult. Let me explain some. As a scout, you come out of the spawn, you're met with a few options. You can either go through this area here, rush all the way behind them, and try and kill a lollygagging engineer who took some time putting up a teleporter, even put some pressure on the pocket really early. There's so many things you can do just in the initial rollout. Past that, it's unless there's a good sentry gun up, you can just run around here and make the other team your bitch. There's not a really great way to counter the scout because there's so many ways you can jump on top of people. Like utilizing this house is really nice because everybody sort of hangs around underneath this area, and you can get the height advantage on them, surprise them, and that's really dangerous when you have to play against the scout. So the number one rule of the game with scout on Viaduct is flank, and go for those kills. It's just going to take practice for you to utilize exactly where to go and the patterns you'll need to adapt. But on this map, one of your most important things to do will be just putting pressure on the enemy team and keeping them on their heels, because like I said earlier, on Viaduct you cannot take a break. So for Soldier on this map is kind of an interesting position because you're really good for attacks, but you're also really good for bombing and attacking the other medic. So the reason the bombing is so good is because of this very wide open map. You can get a good rocket jump on and just do some damage with the medic, and enough focus firing on the medic, and that medic is dead. On the other hand, though, this middle point is kind of easy to hold if you can keep your team alive. So you're pretty useful on pushes and whatnot. Personal preference, another thing you'll need to practice and feel what you are the most comfortable with. Key things to look out for is if their medic pair is hanging around this area, they're very low, so it's a very good position for a bomb. You can get like 2 rockets off before you even hit the ground and the enemy has noticed you. Pyro is another one of those interesting classes because you can stay with the pocket because spies are very useful. But on the same side, engineers are almost as useful. So if you stick around with an engineer, make sure all spies are kept off him. You can also be really helpful to this team. And as I said earlier, this map is really good for flanks. So even a Pyro, just as a Pyro, you can just go around, extinguish a few enemies over here that are lollygagging around. Specifically the low damage classes like engineer, spy, sniper, heavy. Just kidding. Demoman, there is no one way about it. You're going to be used for pushes and sticking down areas. You are, as of course, the highest damage output class, so in games like this with very wide open points, you might be used for Kritzkrieg, or just general pushing support for the enemy team. So then we come to the heavy. Actually, sorry, no. I'll explain a few sticky positions first. There really is no good use for sticky traps until you get mid. Mid is like, of course, it's a King of the Hill map, so you hold mid, you win the game, but there's a bit more to that. If you can hold mid with a concrete defense, then you will win the game every game. But when I mean concrete defense, I don't mean have your heavy medic pair hanging around this area and just have everyone alert and alive, right? You need to seriously get aggressive on this map. This map is all about aggression. If nobody's in this area, push into this area. If nobody's holding around their spawn, nobody's alive, get to the spawn. Spawn camping is totally legal. And it's very useful because there's only 2 spawns and spawn doors and no real easy way to get around that spawn camping. So as long as you don't overextend too much with your spawn camping, it's a King of the Hill map. There's only one map or point to capture. It's best just to keep everyone away as far as possible from the point. So anyway, for sticky bomb traps, there's just some good corners. You're gonna pull a Banny and, you know, put some in the crates even. Just about anywhere, trying to do some damage if you are gonna choose to hold this mid area, but like I said, it may just be best going to spawn, putting some sticky camping on that place. You know, just do some damage. You are a Demoman. Anyway, like I said, then that'll bring us to Heavy. Heavy is, of course, one of the backbones of your team. So you'll be mostly responsible for main pushing power. Kritzkrieg Heavy on this map is very useful because, as I said earlier, this map is very, very wide open. There's no which way to go about running away from a Heavy that's got dead on accuracy. You know, you can just come up here, spam, you know, mouse 2, mouse 1. That's what it's all about. It's really, really nice just if a Heavy can hold up on this plateau area, or this one, or this one. Just get some high ground advantage, a concrete place where you can hold without getting flanked too much by the enemy team. Still have a wide enough area view of the map that you can spam on top of just about everyone, because you are a Heavy and you are really, really good. Engineer. Now, Engineer is probably the most funnest class on this map. I play Engineer, so that might be a little bit biased, but let me explain why. On the original Viaduct, there was no tunnel, so you could do very little. You could build your sentry here, deny access to the flank positions over here, and you turtle around the game with the Pyro. That area is not here. This area is not that safe anymore. You have so many sentry positions, it's hard to explain. They've also added this little roof here, which you can jump as an Engineer. It only takes one jump. Scout, actually, you get a little bit of elongated jump, so it looks easier than it actually is. I don't think you can actually hold a sentry and jump up there. You need to build a teleporter or build your sentry while you're on top there. But that area is a good place to put because you have a wide view and it's difficult to shoot at. This area is dangerous. Your sentry might die a lot, but you know it has so much of a view of the map. Even people retreating or pushing through here are going to get some serious damage laid onto them. Don't expect your sentry to live too long in this map. You know, there's even if you just need to like place a sentry here just for desperation, or here, or just about anywhere on this map, you know, apart from maybe back here, is really, really good. And even back here, like if you put a sentry gun up here, sentry gun up there, still deny a lot of flanks and still keep your sentry up. Mini sentries and level 3 sentries are both very viable. Level 3 sentries are good for doing the most damage, but as I said, your sentry are going to die a lot, so mini sentries is not a huge problem with running. Just because general annoyance. If you can do a little bit of damage, and your team is also willing to put out some damage, then you know it all evens out. Typical best loadouts on this map for Engineer though is going to be about probably shotgun. If you are running the level 3 sentries, pistol because you need to defend yourself on this map. You're never safe like I said earlier. And the Jag because your sentry's going to die and you need that extra 0.5 seconds. If you're going to run the mini sentries though, Frontier Justice because your sentry's going to die a lot and those revenge crits are so good. Wrangler of course because you're running mini sentries and Wrangled mini sentries is pretty good. And finally the Gunslinger, of course. That covers Engineer. We'll move Sniper, which is another one of the so good maps for Sniper. You have so many places to snipe from. You've got here. Here is a super dangerous position. Not much going on around here. If an Engineer ever builds here, this spot is really good for Sniper too because you're not seen much. Kind of hard to get out there without an Engineer teleporter though. And here. Now, basically something that I've always noticed in lobbies and scrims is that whenever your sniper's here, their sniper always ends up being there. Mostly because they're always trying to pick each other. So you just need to be aware of the other sniper and take him out as soon as possible because sniper can easily make your team his bitch. So you have to make him your bitch. So it's just good to put yourself in a situation where you see a lot of the point and just can get some quick headshots off. Of course, medic, Demoman, heavy, all your main targets. Sniper though is probably might even rank higher over medic in this situation. If you can get their sniper before he gets you, you'll be in a commanding position, and nobody else but a scout or a spy will be able to take you out. So we get to spy. Now, spy, unlike Turbine at last week's map, you are typically going to be want to run Dead Ringer or Invisawatch. Invisawatch not so powerful on this map as Dead Ringer, because as I said, you're so susceptible to everything on this map. So Dead Ringer is just a very easy way to get out of a bad position for you. And the Invisawatch is useful just for initial pushes maybe. Cloaking in, coming from behind, and getting a really quick pick on the medic or heavy or sniper. Of course, you know, if you've ever played Spy before, you know your main targets. You want to utilize these two valleys though, because they're not typically taken and they're very low traffic areas, so you're not going to come through here and instantly be spotted and spammed. But after that, it's just pretending your best to be the person you're disguised as. You're going to want to look. Engineer's another one of your main targets, of course. Probably have a teleporter over there or somewhere else, so taking out that might be the best, because there's a 20-second respawn time if you don't, or sorry, if you do hold the point, which will seriously put you back as a team. Sentry gun positions though are very easy to harass because there's not a lot of big metal collections. There's just the small 140 metal packs around, so engineers constantly gonna be running around searching for metal. Finally, we go to medic. Now, for medic, there's no real way to discuss anyway, but the medigun you'll be using. On most maps, medigun is the clear favorite, but this is one of the maps that medigun and Kritzkrieg are both very, very viable. Quick fix, get out of my face. But medigun is good just for those initial uber pushes, grabbing this point and controlling it. Kritzkrieg, because I said you need to be aggressive on this map, it's really good for keeping that aggressive style up, because you know your uber is gone and suddenly it's back again. So once you've taken this point with your Kritzkrieg, you can come up to their spawn or this area with a Kritzkrieg and do some damage. I've actually been in a position in a lobby I played just a few moments ago where a Demoman basically raped our entire team with the crits here and proceeded to go with a heavy and the medic to the spawn, and they pretty much had already had a Kritzkrieg, popped it in here, threw one sticky in the spawn almost as we were nearly all respawning, and it didn't end well for us. Personal preference, like most maps, you have to see which one you're most comfortable with. Probably going to want to switch it around, keep the element of surprise up. So practicing both is a very good strategy. As with most things, you want to practice everything, because if you have the practice time in, why not use it? So general holds and pushes will be our final comment of the day. Pushing areas, like I said, is just about everywhere. Up here is good. Below is good. Down here is good. Very rarely up top. What you'll typically more see though is through here, down beneath here. Down beneath here is probably the most safest for the medic, because you're not immediately exposed to a sniper or a spy. Whereas here, there's a few short seconds where if a sniper's up there, you're pretty much screwed if he's attentive enough. So you'll probably just want to be using these two valley entrances the most, because they are the most safe. And as you can see here, like, there's no way any sniper will see you from this area. But a pocket might be hanging around here too, so it's not totally safe. You might get some spam damage on you. After you take mid here, which is an important thing, like, you need to try your best to grab mid, even if it's just one person standing on this point and you don't have an Uber. Some teams aren't attentive enough to even pay attention to the point, and we'll lose it just like that. Anyway, after that, once you've taken point, going over here is really good because this is a nice holding position. and just somebody where teams will usually hang out, and you might want to do some damage and make sure their medic cannot escape before you can kill him. After that, like I said, spawn camping is really good, and I wouldn't be surprised if I'll probably regret saying that, because I'll see everybody in lobbies being like, oh, Kipper said I'm gonna spawn camp, so I'm gonna spawn camp him, and suddenly I'll have level 3 sentries and Demoman sticky bombs all over the map. And there's not another reason that I want to kill myself over playing an engineer. It really is the most depressing class, but that's another story for another day, isn't it? Anyway, I hope, I think I've pretty much covered the map, though. I've probably forgotten like 20 things, though, because, you know, it's me. I always manage to screw up something. Hope you've enjoyed the video, though. Hope it's been informative. Hope I haven't bored you to death, because this video is probably going to be like 17 minutes again. But I apologize for that. If you want to get good, you got to put the time in, right? Ho 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 ho. Anyway, this is Skipper from IFAGaming. Hope you've enjoyed. If you could give me some feedback in the comments, that'd be much appreciated. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Have a great day.